About 2 years ago, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman made a sweeping prediction that caused veteran venture capitalists to smile skeptically. Humanity would soon witness a $1 billion company entirely run by a single individual. Imagine a corporation with no physical offices, no sprawling army of engineers, and zero human resources. At the time, the traditional startup model of prestigious incubators and grueling funding rounds reigned supreme. His claim sounded deliberately provocative. Yet, last Sunday, that impossible prophecy became reality. And the supreme irony is that Sam Altman himself signed the massive check that made it happen. This unprecedented story begins in Austria, far from Californian tech hubs, in the quiet living room of a highly experienced developer named Peter Steinberger. He is an absolute veteran of the software world. For 13 years, he successfully ran a traditional software company that employed 70 people. He endured the classic founder's journey, endless fundraising, ruthless financial targets, and the relentless cycle of managerial meetings. Exhausted by a legacy model that inevitably transforms passionate creators into stressed administrative managers, Peter experienced severe burnout, sold his shares, and stepped away entirely. He walked away out of profound cognitive saturation, convinced that modern software development was deeply inefficient. There was simply too much corporate friction between a raw idea and its execution. Deeply wanting to return to the core act of pure software creation, he vowed to do it differently, without a heavy team or venture capital. From his Austrian living room, armed with a simple laptop, he had a bold idea: let machines handle the tedious work. He pushed the mathematical limits of AI and secretly designed an ambitious project called Claude. His ultimate goal was to orchestrate a fleet of AI agents capable of writing, testing, and deploying software architectures entirely autonomously. Claude was built almost entirely without Peter writing traditional syntax code. Instead, he acted as a high-level commander, giving complex instructions purely in natural language. While he defined the software objectives, the AI agents acted as tireless developers, generating mountains of functional code. Within a single month, this solo project recorded over $6,600 code commits, as he granted the agents unsupervised full terminal access. From a traditional IT security perspective, leaving doors wide open for autonomous agents was an absolute nightmare. But from a productivity perspective, it was explosive. The tech founder's core skill changed overnight. Instead of manually writing clean code, an individual's value now lay in designing complex macro systems and delegating tasks intelligently. Embracing radical trust, Peter actively accepted he could not read every generated line. He focused entirely on high-level architecture, while Claude rapidly evolved into a fiercely autonomous engine running with relentless efficiency. Released entirely as open source, Peter exposed Claude to the hypercritical GitHub community to see if it would survive. The collective response was an absolute tsunami of immediate adoption. Amassing hundreds of thousands of stars within weeks, it registered nearly 1 million active weekly downloads. The multi-agent framework captivated developers because it felt almost alive. Agents communicated, debated code structure, and collaborated fluidly. The global community recognized an entirely new, fully autonomous way of scaling software from scratch. Financially, the corporate metrics of this project were completely absent, leaving traditional analysts speechless. Claude boasted 0 full-time employees, 0 seed funding, and 0 monthly revenue. It was a pure product of intellectual experimentation, yet its underlying strategic value was massive. In the fierce multi-billion-dollar battle raging among giant AI corporations, capturing the hearts of the global developer ecosystem had become the ultimate prize. Making this grassroots digital movement absolutely critical. However, massive disruptive success inevitably attracts heavy legal scrutiny. The project relied heavily on APIs from Anthropic, particularly their acclaimed model, Claude. As explosive global traction grew, a formal cease and desist letter arrived from Anthropic's lawyers citing severe trademark infringement. The bitter irony was striking. A company founded as a philosophical lab critical of corporate monopolies was now deploying aggressive legal teams against a solo developer, fully transitioning into a walled corporate behemoth. Instead of collapsing under the immense pressure of Silicon Valley lawyers, Peter reacted with blinding speed. Within mere hours, he completely rebranded the project to OpenClaw to avoid a costly legal fight. This rapid, bold move was a firm declaration of total independence to the world. It signaled the movement belonged to the open source community, not a single corporate giant. The aggressive threat completely backfired, elevating OpenClaw to the cultural status of a digital rebellion against tech titans. At that precise moment of peak virality, the real high-stakes battle began. Peter's personal cell phone began ringing non-stop with waiting billionaires. Mark Zuckerberg reportedly called to integrate this solo genius into Meta's infrastructure, while Microsoft's Satya Nadella showed highly aggressive strategic interest. Major venture capital funds scrambled in an absolute panic, offering literal billions if Peter would formalize a traditional corporate structure. Silicon Valley watched closely to see who would secure the most sought-after solo tech founder. On Sunday evening, the chaotic bidding war reached its fever pitch. Sam Altman triumphantly announced that Peter Steinberger had officially joined OpenAI to lead R&D for personal autonomous AI agents. The incredible financial figure reported was slightly under $1 billion. OpenAI had definitively won the talent acquisition war of the year. Beyond the staggering cash exchanged, the profound cultural symbolism was striking. Altman's controversial prophecy had gloriously materialized, captured exactly by his own company. But what exactly did OpenAI purchase for such an astronomical sum? Not proprietary software code, as the framework was already open source. Not a revenue stream, since there was no billing architecture. The real asset they bought was the extraordinary mind of the creator and his massive, fiercely loyal community. By integrating OpenClaw, OpenAI instantly regained immense momentum within the global developer ecosystem, providing practically priceless structural leverage in the relentless platform wars. Traditional security critics raised loud, panicked concerns about this trajectory. Granting AI agents deep, unsupervised access to rewrite enterprise systems naturally raises significant cybersecurity risks, mirroring unchecked AI protocols that recently caused multi-million-dollar crypto losses. European regulators would likely have forced a massive audit. However, the aggressive Silicon Valley ethos prevailed. Move incredibly fast, deploy the product, and fix the broken elements later as the market matures. This remarkable story signals the violent end of a major economic cycle. Building a successful startup previously required navigating prestigious incubations and hiring massive teams. Peter empirically demonstrated this aging machinery is rapidly becoming optional. With proper AI orchestration, a single idea can seamlessly reach a massive billion-dollar valuation in weeks, bypassing gatekeepers. Venture capitalists are waking up, realizing their deeply entrenched financial ecosystem might soon have nothing left to fund. The integration of OpenClaw into OpenAI strongly hints at the gradual disintegration of traditional digital interfaces. Glowing screens, drop-down forms, and fragmented apps begin to look wildly outdated. As AI agents become proficient at navigating the web, the agent itself becomes the primary, invisible intermediary between humans and the digital economy. You will simply instruct your trusted agent instead of clicking book on an airline app, giving the controller of that agent ultimate power. Furthermore, OpenAI is actively investing heavy capital into revolutionary consumer hardware. Collaborating with former Apple design legend Jony Ive on the secret project SweetPea, they aim to create the ultimate ambient device connected to personalized OpenClaw-style agents. Tomorrow's technology will slowly leave heavy glass rectangles and move intimately closer to our ears, discreetly whispering complex computational answers and making utilitarian smartphone screens completely obsolete. Apple, recognizing this existential threat, is urgently making parallel aggressive moves. They are investing heavily to maintain their grip, highlighted by their recent $2 billion acquisition of QAI, a deep tech startup specialized in advanced lip-reading technology. The clear endgame is invisible human-computer interaction, silently articulating a question in a crowded boardroom and receiving an immediate, silent response via an earpiece, completely shattering the barrier between human thought and digital execution. While AI reshapes economic productivity, parallel revolutions challenge the fabric of society. Massive prediction markets like Polymarket, rapidly hitting $63.5 billion in annual volume, are aggressively pushing Futurkey. In this radical system, people express desires not by placing a paper vote, but by betting hard cash. Money becomes an undeniable signal of true conviction. With skin in the game, these free market platforms are infinitely more accurate than legacy opinion polls. Shane Copland, the young founder of Polymarket, perfectly represents the exact same profound generational shift as Peter Steinberger. Copland built a globally disruptive empire directly from his New York apartment, flagrantly challenging legacy institutions his generation views as stagnant. Even when raided by the FBI and harassed by the government, he refused to back down. This rebellious generation is actively rewriting global rigid rules completely independently, bypassing the old guard entirely. The epic saga of OpenClaw conclusively proves that the fundamental nature of economic scarcity has entirely shifted. Yesterday's ultimate scarcity was financial capital and human labor. Today, it is the sheer cognitive ability to seamlessly orchestrate AI. Time cycles are compressing violently as intelligent digital entities perfectly program new entities. Software once ate the entire world, but now artificial intelligence is devouring software itself. To master this new era, you must learn to orchestrate. If this transformation deeply fascinates you, if you want to truly understand the hidden forces aggressively reshaping our technology, our global economics, and our geopolitical power, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Turn on your notifications so you absolutely do not miss our next deep dive analysis. And if this story brought you true value today, please leave a like below. It massively helps the algorithm share this critical content with other curious minds. The next technological revolution is not tomorrow, it is already unfolding today.